to help today's non-believers in order not to mess up things is to walk with God at God's pace. Although it could be so painful if you are facing a tough time to convince one of your beloveds who is not a believer to embrace the truth, with whom all your efforts were thwarted by evil dispositions. Yes, it could be frustrating, especially if it's from someone like a wife, a child, a sibling, or even another one of your cherished personality who is so dear to your heart. But wait a bit, isn't something missing? More so that you had exhausted all possible avenues, with some of it to your own heart, but no required results obtained. Probably you have not checked this out. In the book of Luke chapter 16 verses 19 to 31, in the Bible, it was recorded in one of Jesus' sayings that taught about two men who knew each other when they were alive. And now, when they were both dead, the one whom was rich while alive but now in torment beheld the other, whom is Lazarus, that used to be full of sores, that was merely permitted to feed from crumbs that fell from the rich man's table, enjoying in the bosom of Abraham. So the rich man thereby desired Abraham to send the Lazarus to his family, with his own belief that if Lazarus awake from death to preach to his brothers, they will believe and change their ways in order for them not to end in torment like him. But the father of faith disappointed him with his statement that once they can't believe Moses and the prophets, neither will they believe even if one is raised from the dead. My dear brothers and sisters, maybe we should remind ourselves again about Psalm 127 verse 1, which testifies to these doors. Except the Lord build the house, they labor in vain that built it. Except the Lord keep the city, the watchman waketh but in vain. At this juncture, I have a testimony to share with you. When I turned into become a believer, from being a free thinker that merely upheld being just to others and dedicated to my duty, my wife deserted me, and for my fear of whether she would ruin the life of our children through her unbelief, I made several efforts to get the children to my side, but all to no avail, until when God told me to relax, with a promise that I will have my children as much as I care. And by faith, I relaxed and pretended as if everything was well. Then, to my surprise, 5 years later, I do not only get my children to my side, but my wife too, effortlessly, with everybody submitting to and respecting me and my judgments, especially as far as faith is concerned, even when I fear that they might cross it. At least for 23 years now and still counting. Though I trust it will be till eternity, because nothing is as sweet as being at peace with everybody around you, with joy and harmony. So, by my understanding of this, the best treatment that you can give to someone who is an unbeliever today is to trust and walk with God according to the pace of God, in order not to mess up anything or everything, but hold to the faith that the unbeliever of today will soon change to become a believer eventually when God touches his or her heart, and especially with your unwavering steadfastness in faith for his or her point of contact. In conclusion, the best assistance that you can be to someone who has not yet been a believer is just your unwavering steadfastness in the faith without compromise, and time grace for his or her contact with God. By maintaining your faith, you are working for God in people's life, and you will be paid for it. Amen. If this is meaningful, please thumb up for it. Comment and subscribe to the YouTube channel.